You have 6 weeks or less to live, unless you have brain surgery. Imagine being told this as a 5th grader. This is where my story begins. Back in 1996 was when my very first seizure occurred. I was taken to Huntington Memorial Hospital, unconscious for the night. Almost nobody there seemed to know what was going on until a doctor came in and told both my family and myself his terrible news.
A temporal lobectomy can take a couple of different forms depending on whether it's on your side of your brain that controls language or the side of your brain that doesn't control language. And usually in right-handed people, the left side controls your language and the right side does not.
After switching over to Stanford Hospital for a second opinion, a neurologist insisted it was just viral. For something that created 3 small lesions in the hippocampus region of my brain, this idea at least made more sense. The week prior to my seizure, my family had been in Hawaii for an uncle's wedding. While there, I had received a large number of mosquito bites. I also think it's been more than 6 weeks by now.
I'm glad that we haven't really used the term anti-epileptic medicines here very much, because I don't like to use that word. I call them all anti-seizure medicines. So epilepsy...
Because they don't cure.
Right. Epilepsy is a group of conditions in which the main symptom is seizures, and all of these medicines that we're talking about today suppress seizures when you take them, and if you stop taking them, they stop suppressing seizures.
Today's society thrives in its use of immediate transportation. We need to be here, we need to be there, we need it now, now, now. It's practically expected that we drive and own a car. Earning the privilege to drive is even considered a rite of passage. That's why it sure stank when my license was taken away. I was able to get a license at all because I was unaware my seizures were continuing up to that point. Though my first seizure was a grand mal, I had been having what I thought were merely migraines throughout middle and high school at an increasing rate. They started occurring every 6 months or so, but by my senior year it was more like every 2 weeks. I returned to Stanford Hospital for an explanation, and I was informed that they were not merely migraines, but actually seizures with migraines, and that my driving privileges would have to be taken away in result.
If the treating with medications keeps you from having a seizure, it may enable you to drive. Normally you can't drive for at least a minimum of 3 months after a seizure that would involve anything producing a hazard at the wheel, and sometimes the state will say 6 or 12 months.
I began using an anti-seizure medicine known as Carbatrol. It helped me surpass the 6-month no-seizure requirement. I was able to get my driving privileges back. However, I was set back by having my first grand mal seizure since 5th grade during college, and my license was yanked away once again. Just because someone is having a seizure doesn't mean that they must be taken to a hospital. It is more important to safely lay them down and that their mouth is not pointed upward to prevent them from choking. I also have started up a new interest in walking. I like to walk all over the place. On a good day, I'll go briskly walking around the neighborhood for an hour and a half. As it only uses your own 2 feet, it's as close to being independent as I can think. Who knows if driving will ever be an option for me again, but it may not ever be a necessity.